Well, hey there, friendships. Welcome back to Curtis's Corner. If you're new here, hi, I'm Curtis. This is my corner. I'm wearing this Mickey Mouse shirt because today's Movie Monday, we are sitting down with George Danielson, the director and writer behind an upcoming film being released later this year called Mickey Mouse Bloody Boat. Yes, Mickey Mouse is in the public domain, which means you can use the Steamboat Willie version of Mickey Mouse to create any type of content that you would like with him. So, if you are interested in seeing my interview with George Danielson in regards to Mickey Mouse Bloody Boat, then keep on watching. So before we jump into the interview, please make sure you like this video if you enjoy movie-related content. I will be posting every single Monday, and hit that subscribe button so that way I know that you are coming back to this channel for all of the up-to-date movie news, gossip, and what have you. Don't forget to hit that notification bell so you know when I'm posting videos. Also, the link down below, you can check out my Patreon. If you click that, subscribe to the lowest price that I can possibly make it. For you, I will be giving you early access to all of my videos as well as having the full creative control of what type of content you wish to see on my channel. So if that all interests you, please make sure you to click that link down below. Show your support. I really appreciate it. And now without further ado, let's jump into the interview with George Danielson. You are the director and the writer for the upcoming film Mickey Mouse Bloody Boat. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself, the film, and why you wanted to create this?
I'm George Danielson. I'm a massive horror movie fan, and I've been trying to develop movies, some more smaller and more thought-provoking, really, but I've just had huge issues. No studios want to take me seriously because it's horror, and unless you have a big name, you can't be a horror director. And so I've always struggled with that. And I have friends in the industry, but it doesn't seem to work out. And so last year, the Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey movie came out, which was a huge inspiration, and not so much because I loved it. I thought it was really weak, and nothing against the creators, but it's just made to make money, and that's why I feel like if you can do something that gives respect to the original creation while also putting a different spin on it, then you have something interesting. Like 2 other Mickey Mouse horror movies were introduced, in the Mousetrap one, I'm not going to say too much about it, but I feel like it's doing Blood and Honey again, and that's what I'm trying to separate from, and I feel like I can deliver something that'll really have the audiences hooked.
So, touching on that, what were some of the inspirations behind your decisions when coming up with the idea for this film?
So, in case you guys don't know, it's set in Louisiana on like a old school boat that's like, I don't even know really how to describe it. It's got the wheels in the back. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm talking about. You've seen it at Disney. And there are these people, and they're on this boat. It's a group of a family, a businessman, and an elderly couple. And so they go on this boat. It's like a tour throughout the Louisiana bayou. And the captain, he's wearing, of course, the Mickey Mouse classic Steamboat Willie sailor costume. And a rat gets aboard, steals his clothing, and it's just a bloody spree from there. But also what I'm doing with my characters, it's a smaller cast of characters and very diverse to sort of be like a pilot to push forward those projects that I was trying to do initially, but it's just not possible. And so if I do something interesting enough with these characters, then maybe someday I'll be able to make what I really would like to make.
So you're talking about kind of like how everything is kind of coming to be, which sounds as if like you've already started either the hiring process or even the filming process along with it, especially considering I think you tweeted out saying that there was going to be a trailer coming in March, I believe is what you said?
In March, yeah.
So with that, who are the cast that you have involved in making the film?
I'm in the Orlando area, so I just put out on my own private Instagram like a message that if you guys want to join it, so it's mainly my friends, and because I was a thespian in high school, which is like an actor pretty much in that sort of division, and so most of them I have faith in, and I've got, for the elderly couple, some of my friends who are in Hollywood, not like big names, no Chris Pine or whatever, but like, people who know the industry playing them, and I feel like they would do the same for me if they had a project. So,
and when casting for the characters, what exactly was it that you were specifically looking for when choosing who you wanted to be in your film?
So I've got these descriptions I made storyboards. That's what, on the 12th, we've got storyboards coming. That's what I'm posting. So I know exactly what I want them to look like. And I try not so much to like base them off of real people. Obviously, like the people I casted are people I know. But like when I'm writing, I have like a distinct feel of the characters, what they look like, how they act, like even like to the point of how they sound. And so when I'm casting, that's what I'm looking for. And we got a pretty good turnout for the casting. I'll say that.
So you mentioned Chris Pine, just as kind of just a quick little throwaway, which actually is perfect because then it leads into this question here. If money was no issue and you could cast any person in Hollywood at all, who would be your dream person or people to cast for your project?
So for our lead, Wilson, he's the main guy. I feel like I've already got him locked in. Like the person I have, I don't know if I could see it any other way now. Now that we've already got some, like, we've went through and did our like testings with like the script that we have, we've read through it, and I feel like I don't see anyone else. But an actor I would really like to work with is Bill Moseley from House of a Thousand Corpses, and of course Chop Top from Texas Chainsaw. And I feel like he'd be a really good actor. I don't know if I would cast him in something like this, maybe in like a future project. I think the cast I've got is really, really good. I don't know who I would cast other than the people I've got. They're just really good.
It's fair. So obviously when you start taking something from, everyone's beloved childhood, things that they've grown up with, Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey faced it, The Mean One faced it, Bambi, Reckoning is facing it currently. How are you handling the backlash from all of the fans of these characters seeing a new horror take once they've become public domain?
Well, thankfully, I haven't seen too much like incredible backlash due to most of the main like discussing film. They focused on Mousetrap, which sort of diverts the attention because when these things are announced, instantly there's going to be hate whether there's a trailer or not. And so my thing is not getting very much attention, but when the trailer drops, it 100% will, because it will knock their socks off. I'm 100% guaranteed of that. And that way there will be no doubts unless you're like one of those Disney adults. It's a really compelling concept that'll just leave people shocked and wondering what's to come in the full film.
So you said that you wanted to try and keep some, aspects of the Steamboat Willie character into your own film. What kind of aspects are you actually trying to keep for your iteration?
So without giving away the plot, because that'll all be coming like soon enough, we've got the original dog villain of the first Steamboat Willie short in there as an element. I'm not saying that he's not being the piglet to Winnie the Pooh like in Blood and Honey, but he's also not a hero. It's interesting the way that we're using him, because you'd think that he'd be the villain and Mickey would be a hero, but it's a different way than that.
Okay, cool. So then what was the most challenging part about bringing your script to life?
Writer's block in general. You get to a certain point, you've been looking forward to writing the scene. Like I had a certain excerpt that's like really bloody and violent. I know exactly how I'm gonna pull it off. But you get past that and you're like, how do I connect these scenes without having the audience feel too bored? Because like I said, I want to focus on characters and story, also with some gnarly kills. But I don't want to leave the audience bored, so I get to sort of block where it's like I want to tell this story more, but I don't want this audience feeling bored, and I want them to be captivated while at the same time conveying my message.
That's fair. I mean, with a lot of, especially like a January horror, it's always a very much hit or miss, and like refreshing to know that you're actually looking to establish like some good characterization, character growth, and like focus on a good story that people are going to really want to enjoy. Right. So with that, without giving away like too much, is there a specific scene that was filmed that you really enjoyed the most?
Filming is actually not started yet. We're just still going through our table reads and such. But from what I've gotten written down, all of them are really strong contenders, and I don't plan on cutting away at all until the scene is finished. But with that being said, also, there is one involving a stapler that I feel is really gnarly, and we have an interesting way to, why that's on the boat. Because, you can just do whatever, really. And we're doing all practical too, so no CGI. That's one of my biggest complaints with these movies, like The Mean One and Blood and Honey. All practical. We've got a really good team behind it to.
Okay, so then is this film going to be made to set up like a potential sequel, or is it going to be presented as a standalone feature to appeal to audiences first and then kind of see what happens afterwards?
What the creators of Blood and Honey are doing, they're rushing ahead. They're trying to make a universe. What I'm trying to do is tell this story. I would like for this to be it, because where the film leads off, I don't feel like there's much to go from there. And I would like to move on to other projects, horror or not, from there. But
Okay.
if it presented itself and I had a good enough story, I would make a second.
Okay, so then touching on that, then you ended up tweeting out "Wait for the sequel," which was in response to someone commenting about a Donald Duck horror film.
Yeah, like, I don't know.
Just kind of getting the hype.
Well, not hype. I'm just messing around because that's what people have been AI. Like it's not AI. We've used AI to enhance it because it is a tool that is quite important. No AI was used on the script or in the posters, hand drawn. Aside from a few AI elements, like we've used it to enhance the image.
So speaking of like sequels and spin-offs, I also noticed that you ended up tweeting at the Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey page some emojis that insinuated that a mouse is superior to a certain yellow bear. And on top of that, the Blood and Honey page also ended up retweeting a comment asking if there was a chance for a Mickey and Pooh kind of crossover film. Is this something that you're able to touch upon? Like is this something that you would be interested in possibly pursuing sometime in the future?
The way I see it, if someone wants to take on the reins that I feel like would do a good job with it, I would let them, but I don't know if they're people I want to work with. They're fine. I've messaged them a few times. Not messaged them, like tweeted them on my other Twitter. But, they're cool. I don't know if their style is exactly the same as mine, like they've said about a post-credit scene. It seems they're trying to do so much, and with us, it's just, I'm not grounded, but trying to tell one story at a time.
So, kind of going back to a comment you made while we're talking about the special effects, how they come in like various forms. Like you mentioned, the Mean One uses some CGI, which was not the best, but given what their budget was, you can see where they were going. Winnie the Pooh, I found, was way more practical. So, and you said that you were going to be doing just completely practical effects. So what was your decision in making that choice behind using the practical effects versus visual?
So I'm a horror fan, and so whenever I'm making something, especially a slasher, I want to give the fans what they want, or like what I would want to see in a movie. So with all practical, and also doing that, I feel like it makes it look way better. Of course, it's not all practical. Adobe After Effects, we use that, but that's not CGI, it's just touching up. And that's what all movies, we use Adobe Premiere Pro and After Effects. So, of course, we pretty much have to, otherwise it's gonna look really raw and untouched.
Yeah, that's fair. So, a lot of the time when filming happens with any type of film, directors, writers, producers, or even the actors themselves will kind of go off script and start doing some improvisation. Are you going to kind of allow room for improv? And if you do, how are you going to make sure that the improv that you would allow would help to maintain your vision?
So, somewhat. I'm not gonna allow just nonsense comedy, because it's not a comedy film. There's no need to be cracking jokes. I mean, towards the first third of the movie, sure, you're on a trip, but when stuff starts to go down, like, we're not joking around. Like, that's what a lot of slashers will do, and I don't get it. If they want to do, like in some of our kill scenes, if they want to, I think this is the way to do it, okay, we'll do a take or a few takes with it, see how it works out. If it's better than what was in the book, sure, let's go for it. But I definitely wouldn't want anyone making improv jokes, because it doesn't match at all.
Yeah, you kind of want to keep the scene and the vibe of the scene kind of all coherent. And so, were there any ideas that you, while writing, thought initially were really good, and then when writing them down you had to kind of ultimately just get rid of because it's not making sense, it's not flowing well?
I never get rid of any of my writing. I keep all my drafts and like my rough cuts, but there was something that I had written down for the original script that I had to cut out just because it's not feasible to shoot where someone gets caught in like the motors of the boat, but that just required too much CGI, and not only would that have us go over budget, I don't feel like it would look good, and I would rather not do it if it's not going to be done the way I'd like to be done.
So very much thinking about like how you can get the most for the money then is.
Yeah.
And what do you think about your film is going to surprise viewers most?
So from the trailer, I want people to know that it's a story movie, so I can't say that I will like shock or surprise them, but the ending of this movie is very bleak without giving away too much. much, but it leaves it on a note where there's not much room for a sequel. And I feel like that is something that's going to shock the audiences in the overall product.
Okay, so then with that kind of shock factor, what do you want audiences to kind of take away from the film, and how do you hope that it resonates with them after the fact?
The message I'm telling through all the characters, really, of course, the group of not kids really, but just younger people. I feel like that represents greed and what's wrong with the society right now. And the other characters, like the couple and the businessman, I feel like they will show exactly why you shouldn't be taking all this for granted. And that's what we're trying to tell with this story. It's not, okay, move on to the next thing. And to Blood and Honey's credit, they do try to trauma of this one girl getting broken in, but I don't feel like it was handled as well. And so that's what in the forefront of this story is the story. But you also get some really gnarly scenes. And the mouse is in almost every 10 minutes of the movie. He'll show up at least once.
Awesome. I find that there's a lot of misconception, I guess, when it comes to creating these type of horror films where they have this ultimate villain that they're trying to present to you, but then end up kind of hiding them for most of the film and only showing up like here and there and then in the final act of the film. And kind of like you paid to go and see what this is all about and what it's kind of leading up to. You didn't pay to go and see a bunch of emptiness all around and people kind of reacting to nothing. So that's good that you actually are really bringing your antagonist to the forefront and then having them be very much apparent throughout the entire film. So what advice would you give to someone who is starting in filmmaking?
Follow, I guess it's a bit corny, but we are making a Mickey Mouse movie, so follow your dreams. Don't let it stop you. Like, I haven't let it stop me. The fact that there have been 2 already announced that have gotten tweeted by IGN discussing film, whatever. Just, you gotta keep going and hope for the best. Don't let it stop you because you don't have Chris Pine or whoever with you on your cast. You just gotta hope for the best, hope someone will see it and say, hey, that was pretty dang good. And that's all you can hope for.
How would you recommend engaging with and responding to both praise and criticism from audiences and industry peers?
So for praise, of course, you just give it a retweet, a like. I have done like you've retweeted, reposted, and I did some digging into your channel. I'm like, hey, this guy's really good. But as far as criticism goes, that's something harder because like when you get in the moment, you're more likely to make a response quickly. I've gotten maybe 40 retweets and a bunch of comments on my initial post, and only maybe once I have responded to them, just letting them know it's not AI. AI was only used to enhance, that's not the entire art piece. But I haven't lashed out, which I think I've done a pretty good job at, and when it blows up, I'll try to stay the way I am now.
And then our final question is, what guidance can you offer for creating a strong and positive relationship with the cast and crew, especially as a new director?
You gotta have trust and faith. Just believe in whatever they want to say. Obviously, don't let them take the reins of the story, but you gotta have trust. If you don't trust your actors, then they can't trust you, and you can't deliver a good and fulfilling story.
Well, thank you so much for sitting down and chatting with me about this upcoming film that you were working on. Where can everyone follow you in order to stay up to date on all the exciting news over our new horror icon?
So I'm on Twitter as mm_bloody_boat. So you guys can follow me there, and you guys can subscribe to Curtis's Corner for all of his amazing content.
Thank you very much. Well, thank you again for sitting down with me and having this chat, and I will look forward to seeing any and all new announcements that you have, as well as the upcoming trailer releasing in March.
Catch it on VOD sometime later this year. We're looking for October.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Have a good day.
You too.
So hopefully you enjoyed this week's video. If you did, please make sure to give this video a like. I would really appreciate it. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel so I know that you are going to be coming back every single week. And hit that notification bell so you know when I post a brand new video, because if you don't, how else are you going to know? You won't, so do it. I will see you all on Thursday for another Makeup Corner video, but until then, goodbye, friendships.